I have somewhat of a topic. So,
spill the beans. I don't
you remember the show that I was telling you guys about, Remake Our Life?
Yeah.
I've heard of you.
You hate it now?
Talk about it.
It's doing this weird thing where, so it's an isekai where he goes back in time and then decides to go through a different route in life, which is he goes to like the artsy fartsy type style where he goes to school, becomes a director, things like that.
Yes, I remember you talking about this.
So in the story at the time that I was telling you guys, he was still in the past where he's changing these things that happened, these events that occurred, and he's essentially messing up the timeline, doing things differently. But of course, all of his actions are affecting the main characters, the other main characters, which are the 3 stars, the 3 platinum stars of that generation. And he doesn't see that he's actually messing things up while he's trying to better himself, and he's only focused about his future, not the rest of the futures. Even though he claims that he is caring about the others and things like that. So recently, the show decided that, hey, because of you and all the actions that you've done, one of the main characters that's also part of the group of 4 has decided to stop going towards his passion, and so you've essentially stopped his passion from happening.
Ooh.
And then out of nowhere, he meets this little girl little girl, but she's really an adult, but she looks like a little girl.
Okay.
He runs into her, and it seems like she's some kind of deity, some kind of god, where she's like, all your actions have led up to you to this point. I wonder how it's gonna affect the future. But she says it in like this menacing way where she's smiling, and then I don't know where the next day he wakes up in the future, 2 years further than he was originally when he started. So he started in 2016, went back in the past, and now he wakes up at the point where I just told you guys about in 2018, married to one of the 4 people that he had spoken to, where her passion was completely destroyed because she said that she didn't know what art she wanted to draw anymore. Like her passion for drawing just was gone, non-existent, and it was all because of his actions, all his doing. So then he looks up on Google the other 2 people that were part of the platinum generation, and essentially he snuffed out all their passions for what they were supposed to be. So it's him seeing his doing of what all of him going back in the past and trying to make his life better, how he affected others by being selfish in the way he did it. So I've never seen an isekai do that before, where they go back in the past and you think, oh, he's turning his life around, that's really great, I love that for this character. And then we get into that big fork in the road where it's like, hey, guess what, you actually messed up somebody else's future. And then let's go now to the far future where we see the fruits of your labor. And I've never seen an isekai do that before.
How do you feel about it? Do you like that, or you don't?
I like that, but I kind of skipped a little ahead and I looked it up in the manga. But apparently this goes on for a while. You see that a bunch of other people have been affected negatively by the stuff he's done. So I didn't go past that point to see hey, are they really that bad, badly affected? What happens? My guess he's somehow gonna go back in the past again to fix shit, but I was just not expecting that, and that threw me super hard for a loop because I thought it was gonna be some kind of romantic type thing, and I'm then oh shit, this is actually pretty negative and sad and shit. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know. That anime is still by far my favorite anime this season, but this episode definitely threw me for a super hard loop that I was not expecting whatsoever.
What is he doing that's causing them to give up on their dreams? Is he slashing their tires and can't go to work? What is he doing?
No, he's using his knowledge from the future to influence the past. So for example, I said this before, there's 3 characters that he ends up being in the part. It's one of them, so the Platinum 3 generation, one of them is an incredible novelist / movie director. The other one is a renowned idol pop singer, and the third one is a renowned artist who her drawings have affected a bunch of people, and she creates these beautiful stills and things like that. So at one point they have to create this video game to help raise funds for one of those 3 characters to continue in school because they ran out of money. Or they just were always trying to pay for themselves by working multiple jobs, so they're kind of running themselves down. And so in doing this, he became the director and is kind of he's kind of trying to push them towards a direction, and every single time that they're about to get into this creative flow, he's do this instead. So he'll try to keep getting in the way of their own passion, kind of evolving and kind of growing on its own. And instead he's trying to push them to to what in his mind is their inevitable future. So like he keeps getting in their way of their creativity growing, and he just miraculously somehow has like the answers to everything, to all their dilemmas, to all their situations. Like he's just their end all be all, their god essentially. And but in his mind, he doesn't come off that way. Like in his mind, he's like, I'm only doing what I have to do to make them what they're supposed to be. Like that sounds so egotistical and things like that. And then at the same time, he's thinking, I need to make sure that my life is set and that I'm doing things different than how I used to be and things like that. So like he's getting in the way, and he's kind of intertwining himself with their lives and just doing he's just doing too much and putting his hands in so many pots. So it was just an aspect of the anime that I was not expecting whatsoever.
It does sound different. It sounds like
for an isekai.
Yeah, I don't know. Like how do you I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it sounds kind of like I feel like I would have a problem with it.
I mean, I wasn't too happy about it. That's for sure. Like
how is one guy fucking that up for 3 other people?
You would have to kind of watch it because like essentially it's like, let's say like you're having like a brain fart of a like problem, and I know what's gonna happen in the future because you have like this huge potential in the future, and I know that you're gonna be like this crazy person.
Yeah.
And then let's say you're like, oh man, I'm having this issue with this like piece or with this concept, and then I'm like, oh, I remember in the future he did this. So then I just give you the answer without you finding it. So it's like I'm just like like hand feeding you all this information that you don't know about yet, that you haven't developed yourself. That like,
oh,
you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's like that saying, like you feed like you give someone a fish.
Yeah. You hand someone a fish to like eat,
and instead of teaching them how
to fish.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's saying.
But I mean, yeah, that's essentially what he's doing. Like he's taking that step away from them, from learning to fish, from them developing into what they're supposed to be.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, so he's like stepping in where he's not supposed to step in, and he's just resolving all their issues without them actually evolving and growing as a person and learning to do the things.
Now I get it.
And so like the whole thing is like, as he looks in the future and he's like, you know, looks into them and he sees like their stuff, it's like all of them are like, I just lost the passion to do what I love, like and so he kind of sees like what, like he's starting to see that like he overstepped his boundaries in a sense. But it's like the weirdest thing because I've never seen an isekai do that ever.
Yeah, like I haven't. For the most part, I don't think any anime is really something like that.
Yeah, because normally it's like happy endings. Oh, we did it, yay! You know, I changed my life for the better, and then it's just like no, like you actually kind of fuck shit up.
Sounds pretty cool.
But yeah,
you've changed my mind.
It's not that bad. I would say definitely check it out. I think I actually made you watch like a few episodes of it.
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, no, that was for the future. All right, never mind. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Bento Boxcast. This is episode 22, I believe. Let me double check. It is. No, episode 21.
I was gonna say last week you said that we were underage or something like that.
Yeah, so it's 21.
Yeah, so we're 20. This is 21.
That was super off, yeah.
Oh yeah, you were cringe last episode. Yeah,
cringe last episode. Well, you started cringe this episode, so we're all set. It's just Rafa.
How did you cringe it today?
Because I said spill the beans.
Oh,
I mean, it's not even that cringy, but we laughed.
It's because you self cringed, and I'm just
like I didn't expect that to come out of my mouth, but it did.
Super side note, I was pumping gas today, and look, I saw praying mantis. I took a picture of it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that with
me. Can I see?
Yes.
Wow.
Beautiful. Are you gonna make it your wallpaper now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow, lame.
I just wanted to show it off. Look, I got a better picture of it.
Welcome back to episode 21 of the Bento Boxcast, the most animeist podcast of all the internet. We're here coming at you on whatever audio platform you may choose. We got you on Spotify, we got you on Apple Podcasts, or any other platform associated with Anchor.com. And of course, you can find us here on YouTube.com/GeekChart3000, where you'll see our YouTube video, which is still an audio experience, but hey, it's here on YouTube. So check it out as well. In every episode, you, the viewer, has a chance to add some talking points, add some suggestions, and give us some stuff to discuss. And the only way that can happen is by tweeting at us at the Bento Boxcast or to our personal Twitters. You can also join our Discord down below, and everything, like I said, above is going to be linked to the description down below. So check us out and get involved with the community, guys. Welcome back to another week of the Bento Boxcast.
Yeah.
Hi, friends. How are you guys?
Oh, I am pooped. It's been a long day.
Really?
Yeah. I have family over.
You do?
I mean, you know this. Renee doesn't know this.
Wait, you had family over today?
So yeah, I have family over. They came from Iowa, and so I've had them over for the past 3 days.
Oh, they're staying with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Iowa.
sorry. Do you have to share your room?
Yeah. So we have 3 bedrooms upstairs, and they're all for our guests. So both my parents, my sister, and my brother are in my room downstairs. 'Cause I am in the basement, and it was very awkward trying to watch anime yesterday.
Do they watch it with you?
No. My sister does.
Today, son.
My sister watches anime, so she was watching My Hero with me. So we watched that, and then I'm like, okay, cool, you can go now. And normally, like that's a Wednesday routine that a Saturday routine that we have. And then once she pieces out, I watch like the rest of my anime, so like Tokyo Revengers and anything else that comes out on that Saturday. But she can't piece out anywhere because she doesn't have a room.
Did she watch it with you? Did she watch whatever?
Yeah, she did. She was like, "Oh, Tokyo Revengers was cool." She was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, I might watch it." Although this one was kind of very spoilery. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, oh well. But yeah. So she was watching it with me, and I hear my dad in the other so I have like a little divider because I have the whole basement to myself.
Okay.
And so he's in like the other portion of the room. And he's like, "You guys want to turn that shit down?" And I'm just like,
"Oh no!"
I'm like, whatever. I was really happy because like, so you know how some anime scenes are like, "Whoa, like, what are you watching?" Stuff like that. But nothing happened this week. But I was very like, I was like, "Oh shit," because I watched One Piece, which One Piece sometimes has some like weird lewdish scenes. It's nothing like crazy like other animes, but there are scenes where it's like in that show, women are notoriously like they have large chests.
They're very sexualized.
Yes, there you go. And so I didn't want my parents to walk in and be like, "What the are you watching?" What else did I watch? I watched Remake Our Life, which has some weird scenes where it's like a little. There was one scene where it was like the character like kind of he's like, "Oh, I'm married to so and so," and then he like started to have these like this train of thought started to go lewd, and he like cut himself off, thankfully, but he was just like, "What? That means we." And then like it just, and I was like, "Oh, thank God that didn't go anywhere further because this would have been really weird considering my mom and dad are like that right there." By the way, I'm a 26-year-old man, so this is this is fun, Yeah. And then my brother was playing video games. Like if I'm sitting here watching this, he's like right there. So like all they hear is like the Japanese language in the background, and people are just looking at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with this dude?"
That's very ignorant of them.
They don't mean it in a bad way.
In other cultures.
Yeah, I'm saying that they don't mean it in a bad way, but they just look at me like, "Yeah, that's weird."
When I was younger, I used to kind of have a somewhat of a similar situation with you, like how you have it right now. Like my mom, my brother, and myself used to live in a basement in my uncle's house, and I would just full on loud as fuck watch K-On, just blasting K-On, yeah. And then my mom would just be like. Whatever, bro. She's like, he's just a weird ass kid. But my brother would like legit every single time he walked by, he would like throw insults like the F word, stuff like that.
How old were you?
Probably young.
No, K-On came out in 2010. So
okay, so you're an adult. You're a young adult.
You were in your young 20s, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there in front of the computer. Just watching K-On, like no headphones on, just full blast, just watching K-On.
That's funny.
And my brother would be like, "You're such a F word." I
remember at first. At first, my brother was like that. He was like he's like 6 years younger. No, 4 years younger than me. So he didn't really understand because he was always like the athlete. That's weird, bro. I'm like, whatever. Well, obviously he didn't say those words, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, and he got over it. He's like, "Oh, that's cool anime," because I kind of like started showing him a little bit of anime. Like he's still not into it, but he kind of sees like the appeal of it.
That's my brother the same way.
Yeah, I think the only anime that he liked was Dragon Ball, because we want to go see the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. It's action, whatever,
Well, me and my brother were into Naruto.
Oh, okay.
So like he gets like the action stuff. He doesn't like. He was just like, "Why are you watching high school girls play music?"
Yep. Yeah, I watched those like the Remake Our Life and things like that, and then my brother's like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
But then I watched Tokyo Revengers of like gangbangers and their gang is fighting. He's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
Yeah.
He's like, "I see. You're just a meathead. Good to know." But yeah, I mean, it just be like that. I don't like the situation. Normally, I'm not put in this uncomfortable situation where people are around me to see what I'm watching.
Yeah, I know. How long? How much longer is family staying with you?
So, we record on Sundays. So tomorrow midday is when they leave. So I only gotta suffer for one more night.
Okay, you
I
got
thought you're sleeping over.
If it goes well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right now I'm like in the, you know.
Well, you can even if you don't get, you know.
Oh, I mean, I don't mind going home, like sleeping around them, whatever. I have this plan with my parents where my dad likes to snore. Not likes to, he just snores. So I know whenever my dad's in the same room as me, you know, shit happens. Sometimes I gotta sleep in your room, whatever. And I mean, personally, as an adult, I don't mind that. But yeah, so like if that happens, then I know fall asleep faster than dad. That is my fucking thought process at the end of the night. I was like, oh, he's going to bed? Run to bed. Like I don't care if it's like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, like because I can't sleep that fast. But once I'm knocked out, I'm knocked out.
Grab a pan and just hit yourself in the head.
Knock myself out.
Yeah.
Pseudo sleeping.
Like,
But yeah. I think with that being said,
nice.
Let's get into some more anime, huh?
Sure.
I'm learning
Jump
so
right
much.
in. Is it the right one?
What?
The right sound?
Yeah, it is.
Board?
Yeah, we were messing with it earlier.
There you go, everybody.
Rena, you haven't had any experiences like that?
What?
Where you
Like
should be embarrassed watching anime in front of people?
no. Not at all.
Well, you are very lucky.
I'm the oldest, so I was able to just do whatever I wanted, and
I'm the oldest too.
I never been in a situation where like I wanted to watch something and people were around me. Like I always went into my room or something. Like they left me alone, you know.
Oh, okay.
So no one asked like, "Oh, can I watch this with you?" And like, no. So yeah, sorry, can't relate.
Okay.
I don't have much privacy. Yeah.
Okay. Live from the Bento Boxcast newsroom, this is the Bento Box Weekly News Update. Good. What do you consider evening? It's 5.
Yeah, evening.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Sunday. I'm Rafa, and welcome to the 5:11 p.m. edition of the Bento Box Weekly News Update. Taking a look at the news, our first news story first. I don't have one with me ready. So,
have you had embarrassing moments?
Oh yeah. Have you watched girly anime in front of people and they called you names? I have. That's the story. That's a good story. But first, our out in the field anime news correspondent Hector and Renee, the latest anime news updates this week. Take it away, you guys.
Love that. And I like how you answer your own question.
Yeah. Usually we have to wait till the end of the segment.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, exactly. You know, I don't want to keep them waiting.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, there you go.
All right, so I'll start off. This is an article from Anime News Network, the official website for the television anime of, and please forgive me because I'm really bad at pronouncing these names, television anime of Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Oba's Platinum End.
Yes, sir.
Manga debuted the anime's second trailer with its third key visual yesterday.
Cool.
So, if you guys haven't heard, Platinum's End is made from the same creators as Death Note. So when we got news that this was coming out in the fall, like I was super excited, just being a big fan of Death Note. So it was just really cool to just know that they, the creators were working on something else, and it looks really interesting. So yeah, they released the second trailer. I personally thought this was a better trailer than the first one. It seems like we got more of a more background on like what's kind of going on. There was still a lot of questions up in the air, but like it seems like there's like 13 candidates get chosen from Earth, and each one gets assigned some sort of like angel or something. And I got the idea that like it was gonna be like survival of the fitness type thing, like who's gonna be like the next god. And I don't know if I got that right, but there was a lot in this trailer. So definitely check it out if you haven't. The anime will premiere on October 7th on TBS and on October 8th on BS11. And the anime will have a 24 episode run, so until March 2022, and it's going to adapt the manga like completely. So and Crunchyroll will stream this, I believe, October 3rd, I believe. This year for sure. So
Oh, nice.
So yeah, something to look forward to. As I said, like, I mean, I don't even know when Death Note came out. It came out quite a while ago. And this by no means is this anything like Death Note, but it's just still kind of cool to know that they had worked on a new project, the creators, and it's just something to look forward to. You know, I still have a lot of questions about the trailer. I still have a hard time comprehending everything that's going to happen in the show. But Rafa, Hector, what were your thoughts on the trailer? Are you guys excited? Do you guys think it sucks? Any thoughts?
I'm excited. I'm still confused, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
There was a lot going on. It looked like the people who were selected have like Power Ranger suits where like they transform and then they look like knights and stuff. And then the main character had like wings that I'm guessing him and his angel confused together. He had like this crystal weapon arm thing that he can appear to use, and then yeah, I mean, it was like there was just a lot going on.
There was a lot.
There was a lot of scenes in there. There was a lot of just very open-ended questions that I was just like, okay. Also, keep in mind that the trailer that at least me and Rafa watched, had no subtitles, so it was just full-on Japanese, and we had no idea what the hell they were saying.
The second trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mine's had subtitles.
The one we watched off of the link, yeah.
We were just watching images move.
That's how I was able to know that it involved like 13
I kind of figured. It looks like a little bit like Phone Diaries or whatever. What is it called?
Future Diary.
Future Diaries. It looked a little bit like Future Diaries, which is it's kind of like a survival of the fittest type thing too. Mm-hmm. But they all have like these cell phones with like their diaries on their phone.
Okay.
Powers.
And they have power. That each phone has like a certain power to it. It's very action packed. I like it a lot. But yeah, it kind of gave me those kind of vibes where it's like, okay, well, you know, out of all of you guys going to go in for like a death match type thing where all you guys fight each other and whoever wins becomes God, which I kind of got from like the first trailer they showed because they essentially like literally say that.
Right.
But yeah, the second trailer looked like it was a lot going on, but
like they gave us more information, but it's still really confusing.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. Like I'm still gonna check it out because you know we're big fans of Death Note here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than Hector, because I haven't seen it, but but yeah, I mean it's kind of like cool. I just saw that, and I'm still where I kind of was beforehand. They just have Power Ranger suits now.
Yeah, no, it's like it definitely got weird, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out regardless.
Yeah. Either way, I'm gonna check it out. So yep.
And I believe it does come out in the fall season.
Oh, yeah,
so.
I'm not sure.
I said October.
Yeah, it has to be sometime in October. It says the first 2 episodes will have an advanced screening at Tokyo's Shinjuku Walled 9 Theater on October
that'll be considered.
3rd.
That'll be fall. No, you said fall, right?
So
yeah, fall starts in October because we still have like 2 to 3 more weeks of anime for this year.
So maybe sometime in October. But yeah, something to look forward to, guys.
Because remember, there's always a week break.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because the year starts with winter.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. No, you're right. No, nothing. I was just thinking about the.
Yeah, so because like the season normally it is fall, winter, spring, summer, but at the beginning of every year, like let's say January, it starts off with winter,
right?
And it goes to spring, summer, fall, and then it resets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the anime seasons get split up. But yeah, should be coming out in fall season and should be fun. But in more news, another anime trailer was also recently dropped. The one that I didn't know, it wasn't on my radar at all, but it surprised me. Pokemon Evolutions, which is an 8-episode series anime in which they will be talking about stories from each region. And it's essentially a special coming out because the Pokemon franchise is turning 25 this year. And so they're going to be giving special stories of 8 stories, 8-part mini-series of just different characters that were, you know, prominent in the games and prominent in the show. For example, the first series, I believe, or the first episode of the series is titled The Champion. It will focus on Leon and his battle between him and the legendary Pokemon. It is the Dragon/Poison type Pokemon. I forgot the name of it, but yeah. It's really cool. I mean, they bring in certain characters like Lily from Sun and Moon, and they also traverse to Kalos and other places like that. So like, and they go to Kanto as well. So there's a lot. Kanto. There's a lot to it. It's like a kind of like a promotional fun mini series that they're adding to like the roster of anime that you can watch. I mean, honestly, a lot of the side story stuff that Pokemon makes, especially when it's like in the art style that this one is, has like really hits. It's really good. And I mean, yeah, Pokemon really never misses when it comes to like side story stuff. Like even if it's for like children, it always has really good content in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool bonus stuff. It's not like it's something to look forward to. It might be worth checking out for you guys, those who are and aren't into Pokemon like that. I for one am, so I will be checking it out. But in bigger news, we have an official announcement from Netflix themselves and Eiichiro Oda and the rest who are working on this. We have Hollywood's One Piece live action series was announced, and like I said, it will be a Netflix original, which we already knew about. We knew it was kind of in the works in the talks, but they finally released an official kind of like teaser type thing. It's a script that I believe read Romance Dawn, which is the very first chapter of the original manga. In addition, Hollywood's Tomorrow Studio will produce the live action, and Eiichiro Oda participates as the executive producer. So we have Oda in the helm, making sure that his baby is being treated correctly. The script is written by Matt Owens, who worked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Netflix's Marvel drama series, and Stephen Madej, who worked on Lost.
Wow.
Cool. Pretty big
I've never
names.
seen it.
Yeah, I've never watched Lost either. But I know it was one of the most like beloved series ever.
Obsessed, yes.
But yeah, like along with seeing like a script with, like I said, the Romance Dawn title on it, we also see the official logo for the show, and it is, you know, what you expected: One Piece with the C or the E at the end, kind of like the little boat anchor, and then, you know, Luffy's skull and the hat in the O, which is a skull, crossbones, and Luffy's straw hat. It's a very interesting. It's a very interesting logo, because that is not necessarily how the actual anime logo looks, but I'm not too mad at it. It's, you know, it's whatever, I guess. But I'm more so looking forward to like what the characters look like, how the story progresses, and if they can kind of speed up some of the pacing of like the first season of One Piece, because it is kind of slow at the beginning. Which I think, Rafa, that was one of your common complaints about it.
No, my main problem with One Piece was that my original exposure to One Piece was the 4Kids version.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Which was a terrible version.
Which, yeah, they cut out a lot of parts of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They straight up erased scenes. There's one specific scene I remember where Luffy was like, his back was sort of like we're seeing his back.
Okay.
It was supposed to be covered in blood, and they took it all away. He just had scratches on his back.
Oh yeah, that's really whack.
And the voice acting was shit too.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I mean, I know Funimation took over the helm of like doing the English dub version of One Piece, and that's pretty good. Like, I've seen a few episodes of it, but I mean, yeah. Plus, at this point, it's a really, really long series. It's over 1,000 episodes deep, so like I understand why people are a little nervous to hop into that, because it is a lot of viewing, and because there's a lot of filler in there, and it's really beneficial to go on Google to look for the filler, like skip lists and things like that. But overall, seeing another live action adaptation coming out from Netflix is cool, because they are already doing Cowboy Bebop, and now they're hopping into One Piece. So I mean,
did you guys hear? Super side note. Did you guys hear that people were giving John Cho shit for being
Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, because he was he's like older and stuff.
He's older. Yeah. His response is really well. He said, Ron, I'm going to paraphrase like crazy, but he pretty much was saying like, hey, like if I was, because Spike in the anime is like 27 or something like that. He's like, when I was 27, I was not ready for this role and stuff like that. He was saying like, yeah, maybe physically I was more like in line as in Spike, but as an actor, being able to portray the emotions needed for this role, I was not ready for that. Well, like, that's such a great answer.
Yeah,
we were getting him shit. I mean, it's
haters gonna hate. Yeah, like that's just how it is.
Stupid, but
especially with something as beloved as Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
like it's regardless.
That's the thing is with Cowboy Bebop. There's always going to be someone complaining about it. And when it comes out, let's say it's the best adaptation, live action adaptation of anime ever created. Like, this is it right here. This is the pinnacle of it. there's still gonna be someone out there to complain about it.
100%.
There's gonna be a purist of the comic people like, oh well, they didn't do this, or well, you know, with this and that, or whatever. It's just you can't satisfy those people.
Yeah, which kind of worries me too, because like kind of reeling it back to One Piece. Some of the One Piece community can be very toxic, especially to themselves. So for example, there's so Luffy is the main character. Then there's Zoro and Sanji, who are technically his right and left hand. So you know, the next two to be kind of put up. And there's always a battle between who's stronger, which is Zoro or Sanji. And the community.
Sanji's the chef.
Sanji is the chef. Okay. Zoro is the samurai.
Yeah.
And they always try to like combat each other and say who's stronger than who, because it's kind of a running joke from the creator himself, where one arc he'll make one person's bounty, which is how they measure who's more important.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make his bounty like larger than the other one. So then they'll like keep making that joke of like, oh, I'm more important than you, and like they'll do it in the show. But at the end of the day, whenever it comes down to it, they're always like comrades and they always fight together and whatever, right? So to them it's not that big of a deal, but to the community they're like, no, Zoro is stronger than Sanji and he's even stronger than Luffy, and like they'll get into like these heated arguments where like try to compare who's who and this and that, whatever. But like I already know for a fact that people are super skeptical of live action series as is, right? And everybody, I mean, it's understandable. We've had absolutely terrible experiences with it, but the One Piece community can also be very, very mean.
I mean, a lot of these anime communities are pretty shit.
Oh, no, yeah.
Apparently, the My Hero community is a bunch of bullshit, too.
Yeah, there's also a lot of wild shit in the My Hero.
Who do you think is stronger? Zoro or
I mean, the fact that Zoro's literally Luffy's right hand, like, I feel like that's kind of...
I would say Zoro.
That's kind of, I feel like that's kind of the answer.
Yeah.
But,
why would people defend Sanji, then?
Because there are moments where he does show like he is like right next to each other. There are moments in the anime and the manga where like they show that they're pretty much of equal footing. But the biggest argument is that their goals in life are two different things. Sanji wants to see the all blue, which is an ocean where all the fish are connected, because he's a chef and he wants to like cook a fish from the all blue and things like that. I'm super butchering like his dream, but you get me. Like he just wants to see the all blue. Zoro's dream is to be the world's greatest swordsman. So those are two different dreams on two different spectrums. And people are like, oh, to be the world's greatest swordsman, you have to be stronger than Sanji, blah, blah, blah. But people are like, well, I mean, it's a big, stupid fight that I wish never existed. But I mean, in any anime that has like characters that are super beloved, like that stuff's going to happen all the time.
Do you think those characters are going to be... I don't watch One Piece. I think the only character I know is Luffy. He's the one with the straw hat, like the main character. Do you think they're gonna have in the live action those characters that you guys just mentioned? Like, are they like the main?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're all part of the main crew.
Okay. Main cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big cast.
Which the cool thing about too, Oda, which is the creator of One Piece himself, straight up said that each character is also based and inspired by different cultures and different people of the world. So, like for example. Zoro is Japan, obviously. Luffy is Brazilian. He's based off of Brazil and Brazilian culture.
I didn't know that.
Robin, I believe, is based off of Russian culture. I think Sanji is French culture. Nami, I think, is like Spanish / Portuguese culture. Like it's like all over the place. Yeah. Frankie, which is the robot, is based off of the United States and U.S. culture.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like they're all based off of certain things, and I wonder if they're gonna go that route when they actually make it live action and like get a Brazilian actor to be Luffy and things like that. Like, I think that'd be super cool, and I'd be super down for it. But I don't know. We'll see.
Just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Live action news is kind of scary news, but I'm excited for it. But that's that.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
So aggressive.
I know, right? That's it. You're done. You're not gonna work in this town anymore. All right. Hold up, I gotta make it bigger. I can't see it. Thank you so much, Hector and Renee. And that's gonna do it for us here today at the Bento Box Weekly News Update. Have a safe and great night, everyone. Be careful out there. Wear your masks. People are getting sick again. COVID ain't no joke no more. It was never a joke, but you know. That's like, it's COVID to electric boogaloo.
Get your vaccines.
Yeah, it's bad down. So that's it.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, spoiler warning for everybody listening. Jump ahead to Anime Swap if you guys want to hear the next couple minutes that we're going to be talking about. But guys, I'm gonna leave it up for a debate. What do we want to start with? My Hero Academia or Tokyo Revengers?
I don't know. I'm kind of like equal with both episodes this week.
Thoughts?
I guess we can start with My Hero.
Okay.
My Hero.
Well, we'll be starting with My Hero Academia, episode 110. This is going to be our live reactions and a recap. Well, not live, but we're going to be recapping and reviewing what we thought about the show.
Yeah.
About the episode, and we are nearing the end.
How many episodes we have left? Like 4 or 5?
Most shows are at 22, so we have about 2 to 3 more episodes left.
Oh, wow.
So we were wrong about what's his name again? Godzilla?
Twice?
Not
Oh,
Godzilla.
Kagen Tamakia?
Yeah, he gets there at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah, we thought that like at the
That-
end of the
that-
season he
yeah,
finally wakes up. Yeah. So
We
to
were
kind of
wrong. He gets there now.
Yeah, to kind of give a recap of what happens, we returned back to see Twice and Toga dealing with a bunch of Twice clones that were created by the Liberation Army to kind of mess with them and kind of play on the fact that he has this trauma of him not being the real Twice, him not being the real villain.
They're trying to kill Toga.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to break her neck.
Yeah, and as he's thinking about this, we kind of get a flashback of his past, and we see Twice was kind of a misguided child, because I believe at the age of 16, he accidentally hit somebody while driving his motorcycle or something, and because of that, it ended up affecting the rest of his life, because that person that got hit ended up breaking his arm or getting injured, something like that, who ended up somehow, some way being connected to his job, because he was an executive at a firm that had, was contracting Twice's company. And so because of that, because he injured them, they found that out. They found that he was the person that injured that person. And so they said, we're going to renegotiate or rethink our collaboration with your company. And the man who had hired him or, was housing him and, taking care of him at the time was kind of an asshole. And he said, I can't believe you did this to us. Get out of my face. Do whatever you like, just get out. You ruined everything for us. And kind of just was being very abusive and very mean towards him when really Twice wasn't even in the wrong. And the issue with the fact that he hit somebody and broke the executive's arm is that it ended up going on to his permanent record, which affected his life literally from there on forward. He couldn't get a stable job, and it kind of affected him to the point where he decided, well, I'm just going to go into the villainous route and start, stealing, start bank robbery, start doing whatever I can. And because he didn't really have anybody, he didn't have any family around, he didn't have any connections to anybody after his parents had passed at such a young age, he was kind of left alone to just fend for himself. And because of his quirk, which was to duplicate himself, and then from one of those clones, he created 2 more clones. So it's kind of this weird whole duplication quirk that he has. He decided, well, the only person I trust is myself, so let me just create a bunch of myself. And he kind of created a gang of just himself, where he would do like this, like I said, this villainous stuff and rob and things like that. And at one point, his own clones started to turn on themselves to see, who the real clone was, and to keep all the treasure that they had collected and the loot that they had collected. And so as they're murdering each other, it's kind of fucking with Twice's like mental state, and he's like, am I the real am I the real person? Am I the real Twice? Am I the real Twice? To the point where it's kind of gave him split personality syndrome disease or whatever. And now he doesn't feel like himself unless he has a face covering. And where he finally meets the broker that introduced him to the League of Villains, and is kind of like finding people to join this group. And this is obviously we remember hearing about the League of Villains growing back in earlier seasons, but this is where we kind of see more of Twice's backstory. And the broker, I think his name was Giran, yeah. Kind of tells him, hey, well, there's a quirky group that is growing and is they might need somebody just like you. And so that's how we find Twice, being a part of the League of Villains, him kind of creating this connection, this bond with people that he trusts, which are the rest of the League of Villains, his comrades. And the running joke is like, hey, it seems like you kind of have like this like hero moment where like your origin story. He's like, oh, can't villains care about their comrades too and things like that? And you're just
That's funny.
Oh, Twice. That's a very Twice thing to do. And we kind of flash back to where they have Toga kind of in a headlock about to like snap her neck, and Twice gets, released from his constraints and runs towards Toga to stop him. And then these other two Twice clones that are fake, that are created by the Liberation Army, stop him. And we find out that Twice, as a like stopgap to see, what clone is which, is that if an adult person like breaks their arm, that's the pain tolerance at which his clones will just delete. They'll kind of go back to like the muddy thing that they are. And so the Liberation Army then orders the two clones that they created to snap his arms, which then kind of, gives him that affirmation that, hey, guess what? I actually am the real Twice. Like, that's dope. And so it kind of gets him over his trauma and his fear of like him not being the real Twice. And once he does that, he snaps out of it. He says, okay, since I'm the real Twice, then it's time to fully unlock my power and see what I'm really capable of. And he spawns hundreds of Twices to then change the course of the battlefield, save Toga, creates clones of Dabi and the rest of the gang to like do some wild stuff, and then proceeds to kind of flip the table and show that the League of Villains are actually winning at this point. Once we see that, once we keep going, they start to attack the main base where Redestro's at, and we see kind of a fight and a little conversation that Redestro and Shigaraki have, which like Redestro's kind of monologuing and telling like his side of the story, what he thinks, and we see his background of like, Destro just wanted a free and liberated world where people can use their powers, but the League of Villains they also kind of represent that, but in a negative light, and Redestro just hated that, and so that's why he wants to get rid of them. And he asks this important question, which I'm blanking on, to Shigaraki, and right when he's about to get the answer, Shigaraki is like, hey, I'm just a clone, by the way. But if I was me, which I am, I would probably be marching up to the tower right now and just crumble the whole thing and make it fall. And as he says that, the real Shigaraki puts his hands on the tower, completely crumbles, destroys the thing, and he's like, humans should die, right? Humans should be dying from that fall. And I don't know where we see Redestro kind of powering up, turning into this big ape form, which he is. And then that's when it cuts off.
Nice.
The episode was, this was 100% focused around Twice. This was a Twice episode where we just kind of see that he has...
His super move was called Sad Man's Parade.
Which I really like.
That was a cool
name. That was a super sick, like super move.
I like this episode a lot because Twice is hilarious. So there was a bunch of Twices everywhere talking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot of fun. It was a good episode. I like that they shined on Twice and you got to see his backstory. You like him more now, and I always liked Twice, so I thought it was a funny character.
Yeah.
But like now, like I sympathize. Thank you. Yeah. Like with him or whatever, I feel bad for like what he went through, whatever. It kind of sucks,
Yeah, definitely.
Like he was a loner, and he only had himself to, keep himself like in like company or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So, but no, it was really cool to see that he could do something. They could really push himself. Because that's what people were always saying, like, this guy has this crazy power, and he could do a lot with it, but he never does anything with it.
Yeah.
And because he was afraid of, being a fake. Now that he knows that he's a real one, he's a real version of Twice, well, he might really get to his real potential, what he can do. That power was awesome. Sad Man Parade, and there was a bunch of them everywhere. They were just goofing around, talking, helping, saving people and stuff like that. It's really cool to see. I like the episode overall in general. Toga's episode is still my favorite one.
I agree.
I still think it's a better episode. But no, it's still.
But this one's up there.
Yeah. It's enjoyable. And then I like the reveal that Giga Monster. What was it?
Oh yeah, and at the end, Gigantamakia gets woken up by the professor because he's like, "Hey man, Shigaraki got weighing over his head, but we're just gonna
you need to back him up because he's kind of screwed right now." And he gets there and he puts his hand on the
tower.
On the tower, and then the whole shit starts collapsing.
That was cool.
Yeah, so overall good episode.
It's building up to a crazy end of the season.
Yeah, I think this episode was okay. Maybe it's just because I'm not like in love with Twice. Is that his name, right?
Yeah.
Twice, yeah.
I also agree. I think Toga. I think I like that episode a little bit more, but that's just because I like her a little bit more. Right. Like what she's about. But it was still cool to see that, once again, like, you know, in the beginning of the season, like we were seeing the heroes training and getting stronger, and now you're seeing like the League of Villains, and like they were training too, and they're super powerful up to this point. So it's cool to see Twice, you know, yeah, when he created his whole army and he was able to like help his team out. Like I thought that was really cool. The whole thing about like, oh, that's like what a hero does. He's like, I mean, but these are people I care about. Like, you know, we're part of the same team. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, I think next episode they said something about it being based off of Shigaraki. I think that was...
Shigaraki's name was in the episode.
Yeah, so it's starting to seem like each like villain's gonna like get, well, I don't know, because like we got an episode on Toga, we got an episode on Twice, and then we're gonna get an episode on like Shigaraki. Like it seems like each villain from the League of Villains is essentially gonna get some sort of
backstory reveal.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and I was kind of hoping to see more of Dabi this episode, because I know we talked about it last week.
You did kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of had like a little mini fight.
But they did talk about Dabi a little bit. So that's why his skin's all messed up.
But I want that backstory. Like I want to know, because like there was you know those like those scenes where like they show the hero or the villain and like list their quirk underneath.
Yeah.
His picture came up and it said
unknown.
No quirk. Yeah, unknown. So I'm like, I want to know, like I just want to know more about him. So
what they said was that he could use fire, but it burns himself.
Right.
Because like blue flames, I don't know if you know about like fire, but like I believe like blue flames is like burns hotter than just regular orange flames.
It is a harder intensity of flame.
Yeah.
But like that's why his skin's all like that, because he's burning himself while he uses it, which makes sense because of the other guy with the mask. He told him like, hey man, like chill out in the previous episode. Say, hey, don't push yourself too much because you know about your quirk. So it all kind of connects. Do
you think that's all we're gonna get on him?
I think
he's one of my favorites. That's why. Yeah. Okay.
Rafa's right. You 100% get to know more about him later on. Like I can say right now, he becomes a staple, like a main character to look at later on in the story.
Okay.
But for now, it's just like it's like the little build up towards him, and especially like his like who is he? Who really is he? Like that is one of the main things you should be thinking when you see him. So that's really good.
But yeah. Overall, this episode was good. It just, and like I don't know if it's just me, but like I'm not like a big fan of the Meta Liberation Army, like the Destro guy. I don't know what it is. He's just not. Yeah, like he's nothing
I don't care about them.
Interesting. Like I'm not. I know he's super powerful. You know, when he takes on Shigaraki, and you know he gets bigger and brown. It was just really weird. But I'm like, I don't like him. Like I want the League of Villains to win this. Like I'm not a fan of the Liberation Army.
You're literally rooting for the bad guy, which is funny.
I know that is funny.
What's another bad guy? There's two bad guys. So. No, definitely. I don't like them either at all.
Yeah, I mean, although this was good and I love Twice, I feel like this is definitely more just like build up for the bigger fights to come in the next few episodes. Sure. Which like obviously Gantamaki waking up, you're like, oh shit. And then you know
the other two guys in the league, do they get shine too? The reptile dude and the guy with the mask?
Not really.
I really don't care for them.
I don't either.
Them two are very like, if Shigaraki's character A, Dabi, Toga, Twice are character B, they're like C. They're like they're important, but they're not as important as the other people.
Yeah, they don't need their own episode.
I can say straight up in the order of importance, it's Shigaraki, Dabi, Twice, Toga, and then the rest.
Twice over Toga.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Toga gets most of her shine right now. Twice gets shine here, and then a bunch of shine later.
Interesting. That's cool.
So.
Well, I mean, I feel like because Twice has such a powerful quirk.
Literally that. That is the exact reason why he gets such a shine later.
Yeah.
Because of how strong his quirk is, and the fact that not only did he master his trauma, but now he can make stronger versions of like his quirk and make stronger versions of his teammates. Like,
that was crazy. Was he able to do that before?
He can make his teammates, because he's done it before. Because remember,
yeah, I did.
In the arc where the villains attacked the students in the at the camp, the training camp, where it was like in the forest, and he made Dabi to fight. Yeah,
he did make. Yes, okay, I remember now. I remember.
But yeah, so like he has been able to do it, but now he can make stronger versions of him. So like that's like crazy. So and Rafa like hit the nail on the head because of that. That's why he becomes so prominent later on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like Toga's quirk is pretty strong too, but like
there's actually
limits to it.
What's funny is Toga hasn't been mentioned as a big threat up until literally the chapter that came out today in the manga.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because for example, well, to lightly explain without like spoiling anything crazy, there's this like safe haven, and now in order to get into the safe haven, they have to be quarantined for X amount of days because of if it's Toga, she can be the person for however much blood she has. So like it's like so they have a waiting period on like we're waiting out to see if you're Toga, so like you're in quarantine for like 7 days.
Damn,
because she can be the person for 7 days. So because of her, they have like these measures where like to make sure it's not her.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna explain why they're doing that, but just know that that's a thing.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
But yeah, I mean, episode was alright. Not the best because Toga's episode was definitely the best, but
yeah,
we liked it.
Yeah,
overall.
It's moving the story, so I just want to see what happens next.
Oh yeah, I believe the next if there's 3 episodes next, they're about to be slappers. The best knee slappers around.
Oh.
Especially when you got Tamakia gets there, boy. But you know what's also pretty gigantia? Episode 20. Episode I think 21, 22.
I can't.
Cringe.
Episode 22 of Tokyo Revengers. Shout out my main man Baji.
This is like the send off that I wanted. For
Did
Baji.
you guys cry? Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I did get sad.
I did get sad. I didn't cry.
I cried.
I wasn't that attached to Baji.
I didn't cry when he died last episode, but I cried during this.
Yeah,
one.
this episode definitely was like the big send off for Baji.
It's a very emotional hit.
It was really like it. I really got into my emotions though with Chief. What's his name? Chifuyu. And that backstory. That was so.
Why don't you tell us what happened?
So Baji got stabbed and he's dead. Right.
He stabbed himself.
He committed suicide. And so the whole gang's just kind of like, just in the moment right now. You know, Tokyo Maji gang and Valhalla and them. And they kind of stop fighting and they kind of come to a conclusion like, hey, Baji did this for us or whatever. The whole thing with the charm. You guys remember the charm?
The charm.
So we get to a flashback where they literally show you the origin of the Tokyo Majin gang, how it became a thing. You know, everybody's on their bikes and shit like that, and they're just driving around, and they meet up at this like a shrine because Mikey has he wants to talk to Pa and the main guys who made fucking Tokyo Majin gang, right? They're like, hey, what's his name? Kazutora?
Kazutora, yeah.
Because there's like, hey, Kazutora got in a fight with these guys over here. They're in a gang. We're gonna go fight them. Then Baji's like, hey, bro, let's us make a gang. That sounds like a plan. That sounds cool. And then everybody's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then like Baji has like everybody's role already picked out. You know, Mikey's the leader. Dragon's like second in command. I forgot the name of the other guy, but like he's the
purple held guy is the analyst, like the strategist.
The elite guy, the elite guard guy.
The elite guard guy, yeah.
And then Baji and Kazutora were like the attack force, like the front line.
Then Pa was the powerhouse.
Yeah, he's on that, carried the flag. He was just the guy who carried the flag.
The flag bearer, yeah.
That was his role. And then they're like, all right, cool. Sounds cool. And then Mike's like, I already know the name of the gang. It's Tokyo Majin Gang. And everybody's like, that name sucks.
That was hilarious. Yeah. I love that so much. He was so upset how like everyone thought it was so lame.
Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, let's form this cool ass gang, but that name sucks. Like, so then they're like, hey, let's to celebrate this big moment, let's buy charms, like these little charms at like the gift shop.
Yeah.
And the one thing that made me laugh was like when Pa, I think it was Pa, he was like, hey, hurry up, guys, they're gonna run out. I'm like, yo, that bitch was empty. They ain't gonna run out.
They're gonna sell out.
There was nobody there. They're not running out of anything. But like, so they got there, and like the little charms cost like 500 yen each, and they had barely enough for one.
Yeah.
But all six of them, right? Yeah, all 6 of them put together. There's Pa, Baji, Kazutora, Drag. Yeah, 6 of them. Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah, so like one of them had like 300 yen, the other one had like 10 yen. Like
one had 5.
Yeah, like
which I think was Mikey, by the way.
Most likely it was Mikey. Like they barely scraped together 500 yen. And they bought one charm, and they gave it to Baji to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because he's on that crazy. And when I saw that was like, oh shit! Like
my heart.
That moment when in the past episode when Mikey saw that
the charm.
The charm.
Mm-hmm.
That scene has more implication. Has more of a. It's more of a bigger moment than what I originally thought. Because I thought they all had charms. You know, that's what I figured when they said, "Oh, it's
me too."
charm.
Actually,
And
yeah.
I know we don't like Takemichi, but he's the one that found the charm when Baji left. He found it on the floor and he decided to hold on to it.
Yeah.
So like,
I still don't like him.
I know, but I'm just saying, either, like, if he never came across it, they wouldn't have found it.
Right.
That's all I was saying.
So like that was like a really big moment. So then back in present time, I guess you can say, like, so Baji's dead. The cops are coming, and everybody's like, "Hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here!" So everybody starts scattering out. And Kazuto's like, "Hey, I'm gonna stay with Baji."
Yeah.
And he's kind of, in a sense, he's like asking for forgiveness from them, and like he doesn't really get an answer from anybody. They all kind of just leave him there. So then Kazutora gets arrested. They say that he is potentially going to get 10 years.
Yeah.
In prison. And then that's when he's talking to Draken and Takemichi because they went to go visit him in jail. And he's all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna own up to my sins, pretty much. I'm gonna atone for what I've done. I'm not gonna run away from this stuff anymore. Like, this is my fault. All this is my fault. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Whatever. You know, I'm gonna face my demons, in a sense," what he was saying, right? And then Draken gave him a message from Mikey saying that like he's still part of Tokyo Manjin Gang and that he forgives him and shit like that. So like they're pretty much cool with him again. My opinion, he would go fuck himself. He could die in jail. I don't like him. He's an asshole.
Wait, who do you hate?
Kazutora. Fuck him. He's an asshole.
I like the redemption arc.
No, it's great that he's looking for forgiveness, but he could go fuck himself.
I also like the fact that like Draken caught on when he was like,
"It's like, don't die.
We're not going to forgive you if you commit suicide."
Right.
Yeah.
Like, cause like that was Kazutora's way of atoning for his sins. Like,
he was thinking about killing himself.
Yeah, he was literally considering, or not considering, he was literally going to commit suicide within prison to kind of.
He didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, he had no other options. He said to better himself, that was the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's when Draken caught it, and he's like, "We would never forgive you if you do that."
And then it after that it goes to Chifuyu, and he's at the gravesite where Baji's buried, and he has a little plate of yakisoba with him.
I'm so sad.
At that part, I was like,
that shit hit me hard.
Yeah, if I would cry, that would be that moment right there. I didn't cry, but you know that would be the moment right there.
If I were to.
Because he ate half of it. Because that's the last thing that Baji said. Like, "Hey, let's split this yakisoba with me." He literally ate half of it and left the other half for him at the grave. Yeah, that was like, oh shit, that's such a great moment. So then they go into the past about them two and how they met. So like Chifu used to be a hella punk delinquent.
I didn't even know like that. Is so opposite of like who he is now.
Right,
like I feel like every time we see him, he's like very emotional, very like he's always crying or something. And then it went back to that flashback of him, like him in grammar school or high school, and he was mean. He was like a troublemaker.
Yeah,
I was really surprised by that. He was the one that was running the show for all the other delinquents
until he met Baji.
Yeah, and then I just found it so funny how Baji was like.
Trying to be a nerd.
Dude, I was hilarious with the glasses and everything. Oh my god.
He was trying to write.
Hair slicked back and a ponytail and everything.
He couldn't write for shit. But yeah, so Chifu was kind of running the show, beating up all the other kids, and then he got word that there's a new bad kid in town called Baji. He went to go check on Baji in his class, and Baji was dressed as a nerd for whatever reason. He had like glasses and his hair was all slicked back.
Well, that was a new school. Right, like or he didn't.
No, he got held back.
No, he got held back.
Yeah, okay.
So he didn't want to get held back again. So I guess he was trying.
And I love his motivation. Is like, I can't make my mom cry again.
Yeah, that's
which
like
I was like,
legit,
damn, that hit.
Yeah. So then they kind of like befriend each other almost because like Chifuyu, he's kind of like interested in what is this weird old nerd? And the white people were telling him that he's a delinquent like me. So anyways, Chifuyu he's walking home and he's after a day of beating the shit out of kids. And some like
one of the kids
that got beat up called his big brother his friend or another gang or some shit, some older kids. They're like, hey, we're gonna beat the shit out of you because you built our friend. And Chifu's like, bring it on, bro. Shit. So then they start fighting, and Chifu's getting his ass beat. And that's when Baji shows up. Baji shows up and say, hey, that's my friend. You leave him alone, brother. So then
he's single-handedly.
And Baji beats the shit out of all of them. And then he's like, hey, you're my friend, and join Tokyo Manji Gang.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and then it ends with Baji inviting Chifu back to his place, his apartment, offering him some yakisoba. Aww. And when he got home, he's like, Mom, why is there only one left? He's like, it's cool, we'll just split it. And that's going back to where he was dead.
And then it ends.
Yeah, it ends right there. This is a really good episode.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked how emotional it got. Really I like seeing the backstory between Chifuyu and Baji.
Like it gives it like originally when we were seeing the whole thing with Chifuyu saying like, oh, I know Baji, I know what he thinks, whatever. I was just like, really, do you? Because I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, with this, like now you like really.
Now you know why.
You now really understand where he's coming from. It's a really good episode. Really good. Filling in the blanks type of thing, giving you some more information, some more background of like about these characters. Really emotional, really good stuff, really good episode. A beautiful way to send off Baji. Yeah, because you kind of felt like they kind of just like, oh, he's dead. Oh well, like the last episode.
Now he didn't get enough respect.
Right now he actually got like an actual send off, which is great. Great, top notch. One of the best episodes of this season.
For me, my favorite part was definitely the Kazutora forgiveness scene. Like, I love the Shifuyu stuff. Don't get me wrong, and I thought that was great. But for me, I like the fact that he bowed to them for forgiveness, and then
he should have got on his knees.
I mean, a lot of stuff's already been done different. Yeah, how he bowed. He took the fall for Baji. It took 10 years. I like the fact that Draken caught on to the fact that he wanted to commit suicide to atone. And then I like the fact that we also see like the Chifuyu and Mikey at the tombstone paying their respects, and Mikey saying like, oh, this is what you wanted, right, Baji? And so that's essentially alluding that after 10 years, or if he ends up saying the whole 10 years, that Kazutora is going to go back to Toman, and who knows, he might take Baji's spot as the captain of the first division, but
we'll see.
I love that that's kind of like where they're coming back to it. I like that Kazutora was crying and like happy that happened, but
I feel like that's what the next episode's gonna be.
What a flash forward.
Yeah, he's gonna go back in the future and see what's going on.
But I still think obviously Kisaki is not. Hasn't gone anywhere. Like he's still there in the shadows. He's still technically part of Toman.
You're right.
So, but we did see the conclusion of the Baji arc. Them trying to save Baji. Obviously they didn't, but. Now Chifuyu and Takemichi both know that Kisaki's the enemy, so let's see how they plan to move forward.
Yeah, let's see how they get him out of Toman.
The one thing I was thinking about is like, why couldn't Baji just tell them like, hey, don't trust him?
I thought that too, but
I think Baji just wanted to like instigate on his own. Like he wanted to be the one to like solve everything. He wanted to take care of it on his own, and then that's why he didn't really.
I guess. I mean. You could have been like, hey, Mikey, don't trust him. We're friends for like forever. Listen to me. I'm your pal.
True.
Whatever. I'm trying not to nitpick, so.
Maybe your questions will get answered next episode. Or maybe it just doesn't.
Yeah, who knows.
That is this so. What'd you think, Renee?
I mean, I already told you guys I was already crying this episode. I didn't cry last episode when Baji actually like stabbed himself, but this one, the whole like just the flashback of them when they were younger, I think that got me the most. Like just seeing how they were, and like once again, like Baji always had this like very like tough demeanor, but like you really just saw like he was always there for his friends. Like they were all there for each other. And then like Rafa was saying, like you see the relationship, the friendship that Chifuyu and Baji had. They were. Chifuyu was always there. He was really hurt when Baji joined Valhalla, and he already knew. He's like, dude, like something's up. Like Baji wouldn't do that. Like I know him, and seeing this, you kind of know why they were so close. So definitely, yes, I was in tears. I hate that Baji's gone. Part of me still like, oh, maybe Takemichi will change something in the past, and like maybe Baji will be alive in the future. Probably not, but hopes. I know. Dead, yeah. I can just, hey guys, just let me have.
No, trust me, I want him back too. But yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'm just curious to see what happens from here. Yeah, Kizaki's still in the picture. He didn't care that Baji got killed. Like he had no emotion in this episode. I hate him, so yeah, I'm curious to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was good. Overall, good episode.
Well, with that, we can finally move into a segment I've been very interested in because Renee messaged something in the chat saying, "Don't ever do that to us again." But Rafa, let's get into Anime Swap.
We don't have it.
Yeah, we have yet to figure that out. I'm gonna on my own find some sound bits for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's hop into Anime Swap. It was this week. Rafa recommended to us
Anohana. I forgot the full name.
Anohana.
Anohana.
That is the full name, no?
There's another parts of it, but
something flowers.
Yeah, flowers.
Yeah, but the reason why
you go first.
No, I actually want to hear her thoughts.
No, we'll leave Renee for last.
Okay, fine.
So appetizer, entree.
Okay.
Well, then I like that.
Then I'll make mine brief because I too was very sad. Yeah, it was like crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
How far did you get it?
Episode 3. I just got to episode 3 and then went from there. But yeah, I mean at the beginning, I didn't catch on that she was a ghost at the beginning.
No, you didn't.
I did not. I was definitely for example.
I did the same thing when I first already watched it.
Yeah, when I first watched it, I was like, "That's really weird." It didn't hit me until the scene where he's facing the glass and you don't see her behind him. I'm just like, "Oh shit!" Like I was like, "Oh, she's a ghost," or I'm like, "Dude, she has to be like some hallucination or something." And then as the story continues, you start to see like how like that affects him and the people around him and the other characters that are involved in everything. So it's just like. Once that like ghost shit hit my head, like it connected, I was like, oh, and then it just kept getting progressively sadder as it kept going. And I will say, this is one where I actually do want to finish it.
Please finish it. Please.
Yeah.
Finish
I remember you saying that you like violently cried to this one.
Full out cried.
So, if I'm already feeling sad now,
I ugly cried. You know what ugly?
Yeah.
Did you ugly cry like within the first like 3 episodes, or did you like?
No.
Okay.
There's just one.
Okay.
Very specific moment in the show that I bawled out.
Okay.
Like I like oh, like just tears and like everything. I'm glad you guys are kind of getting into it because it.
Oh no, yeah, it's starting to get mixy. I'm definitely like, oh shit. But I mean, yeah, I liked it. Gonna continue watching it. 100%. Nice, super interested. Yeah. Renee, please tell us more. Time for the entree.
So, okay, so I had watched Tokyo Revengers, so the Baji episode, and how I was already a hot mess. I'm like, oh my god, so sad. So then from that, I jumped right into the Anohana, and I'm like, oh, like my heart, like I'm like, I can't take any of this sadness anymore. Like, it's beautiful, and like the anime, everything just looks so pretty. And yeah, I don't think I caught on to the fact that she was a ghost until that same spot, like the reflection, like she wasn't, and like she was like, he was making ramen, and she kept trying to get his attention, and he was like ignoring her. I'm like, something's up, like I don't know, like I was just questioning her, and then you find out that, can we spoil? We can spoil this, right?
Of course, yeah.
Well, she's a friend from their childhood who had passed, and so she's haunting Jatan. What's his name? Jatan?
I don't know. Genta. I think it's Genta.
Jatan. So she's kind of a friend of his haunting him, and he thought like he was just hallucinating. Like he's like, oh, I'm just stressed out. Like this isn't real. But he actually does see her, and like the whole reason being like she has a wish that needs to be granted. Granted, she doesn't know what it is. Like they're both trying to figure out what that wish is. And then you see like the group of friends when they were kids and how they were all together, and they're all grown up now, and like they all like essentially kind of like ignore one another, and just seeing that was just really sad. Like it was very relatable in a way, like just friends that you've had and friends who are no longer there, and for them, they all still thought of Menma. Like they all were still grieving in their own way. And it was just really emotional. Like everyone still thought of her. You know, granted, Janta, whatever his name is, the main character. Granted, he was the only one at this point who could see her. Everyone still remembered Menma, and she like impacted everyone's lives. And I think it was just really cool that like I think it was episode 3 where they all kind of like get back together and want to have like this search party. They want to go find her ghost or whatever. Like they came back together, you know. And I love all the characters, all the friends.
They're awesome.
They're super cool. Yeah, I really like it. I think there's only one season, right?
Yes.
I'm probably gonna finish it.
Time to binge.
Yeah, it's
Open
really
and
good.
close. So,
It's really good. This was a good one, Rafa.
yes. Out of all of the ones I've recommended, this is the one I implore you to finish. Please finish the show.
How many episodes? Like 20?
I think it was 12 last time I checked.
Oh, 12?
I don't know.
Oh, short.
Maybe either 12 or 24 or some shit like that. Either way.
No, it was really good.
I also saw there was an English dub version of it too.
There is. I don't remember which one I watched. Doesn't matter. It's a great
I like the
show.
Japanese version. Yeah.
I did
It's a
the
great show.
Japanese.
Yeah, so just keep watching it. You're gonna cry like crazy at the end.
Great.
So it's
I
gonna
can't
be,
wait.
It's gonna be great. I really want you guys to watch it as soon as possible. It's one. I'm telling you, it's one of the shows that's gonna stick to you. You're not gonna figure it out. I saw this show years ago.
It's 11 episodes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's short.
Yeah.
I saw years ago, like, and I still remember it. I remember the exact scene that made me cry, and I could picture it clearly in my head.
Oof.
So
No, it was really good.
yes. So yeah.
Okay.
If you would ignore any other suggestions, just watch this one. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna ignore your suggestions because that's the whole point to watch. But I see what you're saying to finish. Yeah. But I'll definitely want to finish this one. Yeah.
Oh, I just there was a moment that actually like made me more emotional. Not that much more emotional because I was already a hot mess, but when Menma like tried to make those like the bread that the main character's mom used to make, because his mom had passed away too, so like she was trying to do like a nice thing for him when he got home, and he like remember like my mom. I was like, this show just hit you in the feels, man. Like everything was just so impactful, and yeah, it was great.
There's a reason why this show is so beloved, and it's still like people still talk about this show.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, this week we have Renee recommending something for us. So
Right.
for myself and Rafa. So go ahead, Renee. Let us know what we're watching.
Yes. So this one was on my my summer anime list, and I just have not had a chance to get to it because I've been watching Vinland, and I'm on episode 22.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Yes, totally binged it this week.
Love that.
But that's not where.
Nice.
That's not what I want to get into.
We're gonna get your review next week.
Sure.
You're gonna finish
Actually,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish after this pod. That's why I'm trying to hurry up.
Okay.
Just kidding. So I'm going to recommend. It's the same anime for Rafa and Hector. It's Vanitas no Carte, which is the case studies of Vanitas. It seems really cool. It involves vampires. I remember seeing like a trailer of it, and like there was it looked awesome, and that's why I wanted to watch it for summer. I just unfortunately just had not had the chance to, just because of just watching everything else and anime swap. So I still really want to see this show, but I'm going to have yet again Rafa and Hector be my guinea pigs.
Cool with
and
that.
let me know if I should
Check it
if
out.
I should try, if I should give it a shot.
Okay.
Nice.
Sounds good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to hear that review, come back next week. But with that being said, do we have any final shout-outs, guys, that you want to give?
By the way, I know I talk about K-On! A lot because I love K-On! But my overall favorite anime of all time is Fooly Cooly.
Really?
I'm not
Yes.
surprised. I think you have mentioned that before.
I've
Yeah.
seen one
Yeah.
episode and
I
had
know.
no idea what the fuck was going on.
That show
None.
really impacted me.
For those of you that may or may not know,
Oh.
Fooly Cooly is the anime that has FLCL, right? On
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a six episodes long. It's only 6 episodes.
There you go.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's
Really?
Only, it's only 6 episodes.
Weird.
The
Okay.
original run is 6 episodes, and then later on they do have alternative and progressive, which is like a continuation, kind of. because it does involve the main girl, the girl with on the Vespa, the girl with the pink hair.
Okay, yes, I know the pink girl.
Yeah,
Pink hair
Haruko.
girl.
But it doesn't. That she is the only thing that connects the other 2 seasons.
Okay.
She kind of goes on like other adventures and shit like that. And those were okay, but the original run of 6 episodes, that's my favorite shit of all time. I love the soundtrack. Like, man, it's a lot of that show really impacted me when I first watched it.
All right, well,
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay. Well, Renee, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, that was my shout out. Shout out to Fully Cool.
We'd like to just give a shout out to Artisan Gamer Shop. It's a Etsy shop that me and Alex had started back in January. We make art and gaming inspired mugs and decor. So yes, check us out on Etsy. And yeah, we have some new designs out already. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, go and do so when you can.
Yeah. And don't forget to look at the other podcasts we have on the Geek Jar Network. You can see the Panel Pals podcast, the Play and Pod podcast, and of course the Derailed podcast, me and Rafa's personal favorite. And yeah, check out our Twitches. Our Twitch handles will be down below. Twitch.tv/ultra_vman and Twitch.tv/RafaBotGaming. Renee's working on her stream. Don't worry about it. It's coming.
To be continued, guys.
TBD, exactly. And yeah, see you guys later. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.